All right, we're diving deep into the massive shifts happening in the world of money, and our guide is McKinsey's brand new 2025 Global Payments Report. Seriously, if you think you know how payments work, just get ready, because pretty much everything is about to change.
Okay, let's just start with this one idea right from the report because it's so powerful. For decades, finance has been all about the amount of money, right? But now, the method, the technology, the politics, the actual rails it travels on to get from A to B, that's becoming the main event. This single idea really frames everything we're about to talk about.
And the stakes, well, they couldn't be higher. This is the size of the global payments revenue pie, just for 2024. That's $2.5 trillion. It's one of the most valuable parts of the entire financial industry, and it is right smack in the middle of a massive transformation.
So, to really understand where all of this is going, we first have to get a handle on where we are right now. Let's set the scene with the current economic climate for payments.
Now, what's so interesting here is the slowdown. I mean, look at that. After a massive 12% jump in 2023, growth has cooled off to 4% this year. So what's going on? Well, it's a mix of things. Peaking interest rates, a more cautious global economy. The crazy boom times are kind of settling into a new normal.
But here's the thing. Don't mistake a slowdown for a full stop. Not even close. The industry is still an absolute powerhouse. Even growing at a more modest 4%, we are on track to hit a staggering $3 trillion in annual revenue by 2029. The pie is still getting a lot bigger. And this slide just perfectly shows that the payments world is not one size fits all. I mean, look at North America and Latin America. So much is driven by consumer credit cards. But then you glance over at the Asia-Pacific region and it's commercial deposits running the show. Each region has its own unique financial DNA, and that is absolutely crucial for what's coming next.
Okay, now we're getting to the core of this report. This is where it all builds. There are three massive structural forces that are completely reshaping how money works on a global scale.
And here they are. First, the global system is, well, it's fragmenting. Second, we've got the rise of totally new forms of digital money. And third, the game-changing power of AI. So, let's break each one down. For years, the dream was one big, happy, global payment system that worked everywhere for everyone. That dream's kind of fading. Geopolitics and new tech are creating these regional powerhouses. Just think of Russia leaning on its own Mir card system, or how India's UPI has become this dominant local force. The world is basically breaking up into payment blocks.
Okay, the second force is new money. And you've got to forget what you think you know about crypto here. We are talking about stablecoins. Think of them as digital dollars that are always on. They aren't about speculation, they're all about utility. They let you do instant programmable transactions, 24/7, without all the delays of the traditional banking system.
And they are already finding real-world jobs to do. This isn't just theory. They can settle payments across borders in seconds, not days. They can offer a hedge against inflation in shaky economies. And because you can program them, they can automate really complex stuff, like holding money in escrow or even delivering government benefits. This is a huge leap forward.
Now for the third force, and this one might be the most profound of all. We're all used to AI working in the background, right? Detecting fraud, optimizing things. But the real game-changing question is this. What happens when the AI becomes the customer?
This is what they call agentic AI. Just imagine an AI assistant that doesn't just suggest a flight for you. It finds the absolute best price. It checks your loyalty points, it uses the credit card with the best travel insurance, and then it just books it for you, all in the background. Your AI literally becomes your economic agent.
And if you're sitting there thinking this is all science fiction, well, think again. A recent survey from McKinsey found that 1 out of every 5 consumers are already comfortable asking an AI to make a purchase for them. This future is coming way faster than anyone really expected.
So when you take all these forces, especially that fragmentation trend, and you mash them together, the report argues that we are standing at a major fork in the road. The global payment system as we know it is heading towards one of two very, very different futures.
This is actually the title of the report itself, and it just nails the situation perfectly. The era of a single unified system, it's over. The future is a competition. But the big question is, what kind of competition is it going to be?
So here are the two paths. In the best-case scenario, we get what's called a multi-rail ecosystem. Think of it like different national train systems that all agree on the same track width at the border. The systems are still distinct, but they can work together.
The other path, though, is escalated fragmentation. Nations build their own payment fortresses, and they prioritize self-reliance over any kind of global connection. And that makes doing business internationally way, way more difficult.
So, with this really complex and kind of uncertain future ahead of us, how can any company, whether you're a bank, a merchant, a tech platform, how do you actually succeed? Well, the report lays out 6 core strategies.
This is basically the new playbook. Now, while all 6 of these are critical, let's just zoom in on 2 that really capture the huge shift in thinking that's needed for this new world.
First up, move intelligence to the edge. What this means is that big decisions like fraud detection or figuring out the best way to route a payment, they can't happen slowly in some far-off central computer anymore. That intelligence needs to be right there, in the moment, on your phone, at the terminal, or inside the AI agent itself. It has to be instant.
And second, play through ecosystems, not against them. In this new world, trying to build your own walled garden and lock everyone else out, that is a losing strategy. The winners are going to be the companies that become an essential, embedded layer that other platforms actually want to build on top of. You got to become the foundation, not the whole building.
So if you remember one thing from all this, make it this. The future of how money moves is no longer about one single global standard. It's about learning to navigate a world that is, at the same time, more fragmented, way more intelligent, and almost infinitely programmable.
And that leaves us with one last kind of fascinating question to chew on. As our financial lives get managed by these intelligent agents, the line is going to blur. In this new world, will you be the one making the financial decisions, or will you have outsourced that control to your AI? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.